Okay, Bill, insider secret number 6 is spend the next 4 years building the puzzle.
Yeah, and this, once you got that picture on the box and you got those puzzle pieces, you're the next 4 years, this is what you're doing. And by the way, you're doing this for the rest of your life, and that's one of the great lessons that come out of this. And I don't know any colleges that teach this. They give you a set of courses, right? And by the way, we're gonna give you in the course, or you can download it, a typical course selection. Joe, you got that from an actual college.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what, Bill, and not only that, yes, we got that from the college, and it's going to bring up another point that we've spoken about. I've got one from pre-COVID to post-COVID, and you know what's really interesting? Colleges have not changed what they offer.
Now, it's Joe. Yeah, go with that. Go with that.
Well,
what do I always say? Use fear tinged with anger. Work with that. Go.
When you really look at it, you would think that we hear this, that COVID changed the way we think, the way we do things. What's scary is I'm not quite sure colleges have changed. It's really interesting. The same types of course offerings that they provided prior to COVID, and the ones that they have now, it's basically the same requirements.
It's the same requirements, and it's the same courses.
And that goes, and that's after the whole delivery mechanisms changed. It's really funny. We talk about being archaic. Colleges haven't changed, and we're going to talk more about that too.
Now let's talk for a second about this, Joe, because what pictures do college, when you're an undergraduate, what picture does the college have of you?
So very simply, they see you as an ATM. You got to keep the money flowing so they can keep college going.
And what are they selling you for that to get money out of that ATM? They're selling you courses, right?
They're selling you what they have determined you need to be whatever it is that they have a picture of. Does that make sense?
Well, see, I'm going to go even further. I'm going to go out on a limb here, because I think what they're selling you is what they have.
Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry. You're absolutely correct. They're selling you the product that they have.
That they already
Absolutely.
have.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We've talked about this before, and maybe we can get a picture for this. What do I? Yeah, you know me. I'm a little bit radical. What do I think college professors are? They're used car salespeople, right?
You've said that before. I heard you say that.
Yeah, and why? Because let's think about it, Joe. When you go to a used car lot, okay, and you ask for something that they don't have on the lot, do they say, "Oh, you should go"?
Yeah, go to the guy next door.
Yeah, no,
No.
yeah. They're going to try to talk you into whatever they have on the lot.
Yeah.
Well, folks, this is what colleges are doing.
Yeah.
They have a French professor, so they're going to require you to take a French class.
Yep.
Whether it was, and of course, I speak very little French. I can say cut the grass in French, which is mot de law. That's about it. But if you have a French professor, you have to have French courses required of people, because otherwise that French professor doesn't eat.
The point very simply is, if colleges really cared about individuals, you would think that they would allow that student to be a little more selective in choosing the types of courses that are going to actually fill their puzzle and help them with their picture on the box. And Bill, I want to say one last thing, if I could, about, that picture. We've spoken about developing that picture, but, that's not a stagnant picture. That picture's flexible. You're 18 years old, or your kid's 18 years old, and things are going to change.
Yeah.
Interests are going to change, and whatever it might be. So, it's got to be a little bit malleable and flexible, and you've got to be able to make adjustments along the way. And unfortunately, if you let the college make those kinds of decisions, you're going to be paying for an extra semester or two. You try to change majors, you've got a problem. All right. So you've got to think ahead. What are my contingency plans?
Yeah.
And then, we talk about very often, maybe you don't want to declare that major right up front. Maybe the picture on the box is for you to hold back a little bit and try to take a lot of those general courses, during your maybe your first 2 or 3 semesters while you're getting time to develop your interests.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, when you get a chance to listen, and Joe and I are big proponents of you working with your kids in course selection, particularly in their early stages there, you know, because you know, well, for your first semester, they're just going to assign you a bunch of classes. You need to be out in front of that as a parent. You need to see what that kid's course assignments look like that first semester, and question some of them, you know, because some of them are being used to fill a class that may not have been filled before.
You know, look, you know, there are a number of, sometimes it's called cafeteria style scheduling, but you know, the point very simply is you're an incoming freshman. You know, those upperclassmen have already picked what they want.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, very often you're getting what's left.
Yeah.
And, you know, don't stand for that. You know, just because the college says this is your schedule, okay, you know, you've got to be on top of that game, as you said, and you've got to be able to make those adjustments as you see fit.
Folks, it's about the PowerPoints. I mean, think about the things we told you so far, you know, how to gain power back, you know, how to build a picture, how to avoid being victimized by the picture that college has for you, which is going to be to slot you into certain things, you know, steering clear of bad advice, you know.
Yep. It's that simple.
From somebody, and not, you know, and remembering when you look at this little thing this handout we're going to give you there, which is a real college. We won't use the name of the college because they're all the same.
They're all basically the same. They really are.
Yeah. And this college did not change at all. And this, by the way, this is a very high-end college. I mean, this is
it's just about as high end as you're going to get.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a great college. I mean, listen, they're a great school, but they did not change a single thing from before COVID till post COVID.
And Bill, let me just finish by saying this too. There's a bottom line here. You know, whether you're going to spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year, you know, you have to remember you're the consumer. You know, if you go in and you buy a new refrigerator, you're the consumer. All right, and you know, you're in control.
Wow.
And don't lose that control. And unfortunately, you know, many colleges will work on the assumption that you have no idea what you're talking about. We know best for you.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, really that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help people understand that game within the game so they can take control of their own destiny when they get there.
And Joe, while we're talking about this, getting power in your life, I mean, getting some PowerPoints here, bankrupt you, students, parents, and alumni are going broke, and colleges don't give a crap. And a crap is an acronym for they don't give you a creating richer alumni playbook. But guess what? We do. The professors who pay you back actually give you a playbook in here. Man, we've had some people, and we'll have some testimonials on here of on this course of people who just couldn't say enough about how much this helped them.
Yeah, that amount that it's going to cost you to buy that book is going to save you thousands.
Yeah, $15 for the book on Amazon. It's available on Amazon. It's available Kindle version and the print version. You know, so load up.